Hello and welcome to my channel. Your girl is back with another interesting video. This is a video of a Pamela man giving the black community advice on how to end or give America pew pew control. Now he mentions that in a country that is archaic like America, the only way this can happen is if black people start exercising the same pew pew rights as white people, carrying the pew pews everywhere, getting open carry, going to every march carrying them, and forming an organization. He goes on and on and on. More reason you need to watch this till the end. Here's the video.
You want gun control in this country? I'll tell you what, black people, you all need to start exercising the same gun rights as white people, carrying them everywhere, getting open carry, going to every march carrying guns. Form an organization. It doesn't have to be called Black Panthers, something else. It could be called the Pink Party or whatever. But here's why. When black people are organized and they are carrying guns and they have a name to it, so if you hurt one of them, all of them are mad. White people are going to start taking away rights from everybody, I promise. This is the only way it's going to happen. That's how racist our fucking country is. It's the only way it'll happen. Not even killing their kids at schools. This will be the way. Racism.
It's not that black people haven't tried forming these organizations or groups, but every time this happens, it's shut down. So many people had a lot to say on this video, and I would urge you to stay tuned as I share different videos on what people had to say about this video. Trust me, it's a topic or issue rather you wouldn't want to miss. So let's check out these teachers, and when I get back, I share my own 2 cents and we talk more about this issue. Here are the teachers.
It doesn't have to be called Black Panthers, something else.
The name of the group is called NAGA, the National African American Gun Association. They were founded in 2015, and as we know, with many black grassroots organizations, it's difficult to get the word out. So I'm using my platform here to back this organization. We've been members for a few years. The goal of NAGA is to establish a Second Amendment organization that educates and trains our community on the rich legacy of gun ownership of African Americans, offering education, training, support, safety standards, and cultural inspiration. On their website, it says that they have 45,000 active members, which in comparison to the NRA, the National Rifle Association, their number is 4.3 million members. So think about that in terms of lobbying power. We know that dollars equal power in politics. So I encourage all black people, if you are interested in learning more about firearms, that you go ahead and check out NAGA. They have community events. They have a national conference coming up at the end of July. I believe it's in Atlanta. They have community events and just lots of resources, weekly newsletter, magazine, all those things. Go to naga.co and sign up.
Form an organization.
Yeah, man, I get what you're saying, but tried that already. Just like every other organization or leader that we get, when they feel like it's a threat, it's always shut down. This group of people, led by this man, went down to Brunswick, Georgia during the Ahmaud Arbery case to see what really happened. Come to find out, he was killed by Klan members. NFAC went to Brunswick, Georgia and walked around that same neighborhood, the exact same route Ahmaud Arbery took, just to see if the Klan were gonna come out and mess with him. They came out, but they ain't had that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Because them boys went down there and they had them things on them. If it was not for the NFAC, the Ahmaud Arbery case would have got swept under the rug. The NFAC marched on Stone Mountain, pissed a whole lot of Klan members off. Crazy thing is, the Klan ain't come to after they left. The NFAC also marched in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, during the Breonna Taylor case. The last place this brother marched at was Louisiana, which is where unfortunately he was taken down, because they say that he aimed his rifle at a police officer that was standing on the roof. My question is, why was the police officer standing on the roof in the first place? Was he a sniper? Heard they gave that man 7 years He had no affiliation with the Black Panther Party, nor did he have affiliation with the Black Lives Matter movement. As a matter of fact, he would never let the Black Lives Matter movement march with them nowhere. We talking about 2,000 plus people marching, and every single one of those people got guns. That man was a motherfucking threat. But like many of our other leaders, no one man should have all that power. He didn't march to start trouble, he marched to get answers. But if they was met with trouble, then trouble was gonna beat you home. And he ran for president against Donald Trump in the primaries. They took a powerful man down.
As white.
Go back and watch that video. He's not wrong. I mean, that's literally what the Black Panther Party did, but you forget or conveniently ignore what happened to the Black Panther Party. A bunch of us for doing that. So, yeah, that sounds nice and all, but we don't get to parade guns. We don't get to show our asses in public without deadly repercussions. That's not really a thing. Yeah, this ain't it.
You all
See, I kind of find this video kind of appalling. He went on to saying about form a group and all this, that, and the other. I have a group of guys I go with to the range with all the time. We're practicing. Are we a militia? Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, that's for somebody else to decide. But the point is this. In 2021, because you got to look at FBI data 2 years out. That's the newest data you can ever get. It's something that's 2 years old. I don't know why they do that, but that's just the way it is. 2021. Now, mind you, only 14 states differentiate between male and female. That's it. 51% of all new first-time gun owners were females, or classified themselves as females. Now, out of that 51% of the people that classified themselves as females, 47% classified them as non-white. In other words, something other than Caucasian. See, owning a firearm is not a white racist man thing. No. Owning, possessing, and carrying a firearm is an American thing. Male, female, transgender, doesn't matter what your religion is, your sexual preference is, or how you dress. No. It's a constitutional right given to, afforded to you by the Constitution of the United States. It's a natural right to protect yourself. You're just choosing to do it with a firearm. And most gun control in the United States, in the history of the United States, from the 1800s up, were first done with racism in mind. Let's see, the New York concealed carry law. That concealed carry law was a may issue. We may issue you a license if you meet certain criteria. Like, 10,000 ninjas are coming after you every day and you need to protect yourself. And other than that, for self-protection, no, you don't need a gun. Well, they found that unconstitutional. And the reason why is because the law was against Catholics and indigenous people from owning firearms. If they even said it in the court of law on the defense side. Yeah, let that sink in there for a minute. So you might have an uproar from government over it, but you will never have an uproar over an average, everyday citizen and you caring if you're not white. I'm sorry. Look at you as this. You're my brother and my sister in arms. I'm going to treat you as my friend, not my foe. See, and here's the deal. See, I don't care about your sexual preference, your religion, the color of your skin. If you're caring and I'm beside you, I feel more safer. Period.
For a significant portion of American history, G-laws bore the ugly tint of Archaicism. The founding generation that wrote the Second Amendment had Archaicist pew-pew laws, including prohibitions on the possession or carrying of firearms by black people, whether free or enslaved. A Florida law in 1825 authorized white people to enter into all black people's houses and lawfully seize and take away all such arms, weapons, and ammunition. Chief Justice Roger Taney argued that one reason black people could not be citizens under the Constitution was that it would give to persons of the black race the right to keep and carry arms wherever they went. Now, after the Civil War, the Black Code enacted in the South made it a crime for a black person to have a pew-pew. Even facially neutral laws were used in a racially discriminatory fashion. For much of American history, pew-pew rights did not extend to black people, and pew-pew control was often enacted to limit access to them by people of my race. Now, history and tradition is rising to prominence in Second Amendment jurisprudence as a way to determine the constitutionality of these laws, but that approach is significantly complicated by the fact that many G laws adopted over the course of American history were racially motivated. There are several pitfalls with a history and tradition approach. The historical materials may be so vague or conflicting as to render a conclusive judgment about what history permits near impossible. One potential implication of the history of Archaicist pew-pew laws is that they could provide a reason for judges to be skeptical of OG laws. Yet there are reasons, both practical and constitutional, to be skeptical of such skepticism. Polling data shows that minorities and communities of color are among the nation's strongest supporters of this control. Elected officials who represent them are among the most vocal about the need of more pew-pew laws. Now, this violence is disproportionately felt by these communities, and the support to this control reflects not to Archaicism, but rather the desire to live in safer neighborhoods and reduce this violence. Now, it defies common sense and Americans' lived experience to suggest that all or even most pew-pew laws are enacted or maintained today because they harm racial minorities. Racially resentful palm-color Americans are less likely to support some pew-pew rights if they believe black people are exercising those rights more than white people. Now, this control in the United States is based on a long history of discrimination which continues to this day. While blacks are the first targets of pew-pew control measures, different racial and ethnic minorities have been targeted over time, and today the poor now face economic discrimination in many G control laws. This control may be portrayed as a measure to reduce crime, but even in its earliest forms, firearms regulation has been used as means to control specific societal groups by keeping them from possessing weapons. The first selectively restrictive pew-pew control legislation was enacted in the pre-revolution South and primary aimed at keeping free blacks from owning firearms and maintaining a white monopoly on power. Many of these laws were implemented before and after the revolution to keep firearms out of African hands. Now, the G Control Act of 1968 was another major shift in firearm restrictions. The supposed aim of this bill was a reduction in crime, but an underlying motive was to keep black militant groups from arming themselves with readily available and inexpensive weapons. Now, the new objective became the removal of inexpensive firearms from the market. Banning cheap pew-pew was justified as a safety precaution to protect consumers and a way to keep criminals from accessing cheap firearms. Now, a lot of restrictions just to keep black people from accessing and having or owning one. From the main video all the way down to the stitches, what do you guys have to say about this video? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to comment.